Okie doke. So today we're going to be working on this page. And what this was my friend was over, so I didn't have you help me do the first part. What this was a gal who, this was her dress. She had a head, obviously. It's under here, right? And then I kept her arms and her legs and then just the shape of her dress, okay? So I am going to stick her legs back up in here. I wanted to have a little place where I could put them so that I could see where her dress line was, right? So, oh, hold on. We still have her dress line. Okay, so see how in a real dress there is a, so this is what she looked like before I cut her to pieces. Isn't that a really neat shape? But what I need to do is one of the first things I want to do is I want to put her dress line back in, right? Because normal dresses don't just end here. They have things that happen. And then her dress had all kinds of stripes in it. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use Hickory Smoke. This is Distress Glaze. And we're going to put her dress right beside us here so we can kind of follow along. And I think I'm going to do a couple of little things along here. Oops, this is kind of dusty. I think it got some embossing powder on it already. I'm going to do a couple things along here to make her dress look more realistic, right? And we're going to use our embossing pen to do this. So the first thing I want to do, and I'm kind of cheating this because I want her leg to come out in a little different place. So we're going to put some embossing here, and then we're going to kind of come down and then go back up to meet where this one is and then come back down. So for sure I want to do this. So let's make sure we like how this looks. We're going to use Hickory Smoke Embossing Glaze. Now the cool thing about this Distress Embossing Glaze is that it's translucent. So we aren't going to get stuck with a whole bunch of, we aren't going to have like a little dark area and nothing else around it. It's going to be translucent so we can see through it. There we go. Now let's put her legs back up in here. So we want it to appear as if it's coming out of the dress, right? And I like that it's not perfect, that it's a little raggedy in there. Okay. All right, so I do like that. There's little gaps, but that's fine because see, there's lighter and darker places in a real dress, so that's good for me. I think I'm going to help define her waist by doing it up here. And then maybe this is kind of a cross here stripe, right? All right, let's do those and see how we like it. Because we want to kind of define this blob of a dress as something. So this will help show the dynamics of her bending over. And we do not want to keep our tray full of powder beside our embossing brush. Okay, I kind of like that. Where's her other arm? We got to make sure we keep all our parts. Uh-oh, where's her arm? Here we go. Okay, so we have her over here. We have her legs we can work. Okay, I like that very much. See how now it's starting to look less like a blob and more like a dress? Okay, her neckline is going to be like that, but I'm going to make a little kind of a circly neckline in here, kind of what she used to have over here. And I just do this a little bit at a time because I don't want to make huge changes to this and then find out I don't like them. Okay, and I just wanted to mention, if you don't have this kind of translucent embossing powder, don't fret, because you could use, like if you had watercolors or a watercolor brush, you could probably get that same effect. So don't be sad about that. Okay, so now I am going to work on the back of this background, because I did a couple little background things, but now I want to have a couple more in here. I'm going to find my stamps I want to use. Okay, here they are. And then a little stamp block. So these guys are different kind of stamps than you may be used to. They are not on a wooden block, so you use an acrylic block with them. So I'm going to do one more of these. And you need an embossing stamp pad, which is a clear stamp pad. And this isn't sticking to the stamp pad because my stamp pad is dirty. Okay, so we're going to go here and do that one. And then I'm going to do, so I like to do things in odd numbers. So this will make the third one of those. So now we're going to do at least 2 of these, and I want them to go off the edge of the page because that'll make it look nicer. Okay. And for this one, I need my black ultrafine powder. Okay, so, and you want to try to, the embossing will stay open, meaning it'll stay workable for a fair amount of time. I probably should have put this away first, right, before I kind of stamped the embossing. But if it doesn't stick, it's fine. I'll just do it again. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Just working on some stuff. Now we can put our black. And I don't know if you can see the sheen of the embossing stamp. Let's see how it sticks to, oops, just dumped it on my finger. Boop, boop, boop. But it's wet, so the embossing powder will stick to that area. And then you do just a wee tap, right? You don't want to slam it down because then you're going to knock all the embossing powder off. And now we emboss. Okay, and embossing is functionally melting plastic, tiny, tiny little pieces of plastic onto that. Now, I am going to be, and I'm going to toss my stamps in. Okay, I am going to be doing some fun dangles around the edge of her top skirt. And I can do that. So what I'm going to do is brads. So I'm going to punch through, punch through, punch through, brads, flare them out. I think I am going to glue her down at this point. And I'm going to use Mod Podge today. Actually, I'm going to do Nuvo Glue, and then I'm going to cover the whole thing in glossy Mod Podge. Ask me if that's happened before. Okay, let me real quick put this away. So one of the things I will recommend if you're doing mixed media and you're using a lot of different products, I am not a clean as I go kind of gal in my real life, but in my crafting life, I am a clean as you go kind of gal because I like to not have just an atrocious mess in my craft room with me. Okay, so we're gonna put, I may not even have needed those slits. So I'm just going to put, this is Nuvo Glue. This is my favorite glue so far of all the glues. And that's because, number one, it has that pointy nozzle to start with. Yep. There we go. It has that pointy nozzle to start with. I don't have to put a different tip on it. And I think this one I will put in because I want it a tiny bit shorter. Okay, there we go. Actually, I'm going to stick that through because I feel like that made it look more realistic. Okay, So the leg actually going up into her skirt. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay, so we got her legs going up into her skirt. And now we got to put her, well, we got to glue her down because her arms aren't attached to her. Oh, the Nuvo. So it has this pointy tip already, and it has not clogged yet. And so many glues clog on me. It's not their fault because I tend to leave them open or sitting out or whatever, but I have to have a glue that can bind itself. Okay, so she's just going to be kind of wonky on this page. I have to make her fit. I have to push her down because she's sitting on some weird stuff. She's also made of bunches of different layers of stuff, right? Did I do her feet? Oh, I didn't do her feet. We gotta glue her feet down. You were probably yelling, you didn't glue her feet. Now, the one thing I am going to leave not glued down and kind of work around is her hand, and I'll show you why in a sec. Okay, whew, that was stressful. Get her glued down. Okay. And sometimes you have to press your glue a little bit. You know, press your paper down a little bit. Okay, so this arm, I'm going to glue her entire arm. Because I may have a bird or something sitting on it. I'm thinking that I want to have something sitting on her arm. So I'm going to make that top look right, and then we'll cheat the bottom. But I want that top part of her arm to look right. Okay, so let's do this. I got a little bit of glue on my fingers, so I have to be careful that I don't tear her arm. Okay, now this arm, see how she's going to be holding something? So I'm going to glue down everything but her hand, right? Because I want her hand, I want to be able to come back later and put something in her hand and have it cross underneath so it looks real. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay. Let's put her other arm on. And I'm going to, again, line up that top shoulder. And then everything else is just going to follow through from that. And then I'm going to leave her hand open so that I can put something under there. Okay, so let's put the top on the Nuvo. Okay, we have something exciting happening. I heard a rumor that using these silicone brushes, these are makeup brushes for Mod Podge, was effective and are easier to clean. So this is going to be a coat all over the thing of gloss Mod Podge. Ooh, seems to be working. Okay. All right. And I'm doing this as a barrier layer. I'm going to be doing other things to this. Most times I use non-gloss Mod Podge. I use matte Mod Podge. But today I thought it would be fun to make her a little bit more sparkly and cool. You can kind of use the, if you're going to try this silicone brush trick. I feel like you put it on a lot and then you go and you spread it. Okay, so here, I'll show you. Put it on a lot and then you use the tip, the tippy end, to kind of spread it around. And I am going to put it on her hand, but her hand isn't stuck down, so hopefully that will work later. And I like texture in my projects. So I have to say that the way this is going on and how you have to kind of manage it is definitely right up my alley. Now, if you like a super smooth finish and you don't like bumpies and stuff, I would And this Mod Podge will help that stick, because Mod Podge is a glue and a sealer. Okay, let's see. Interesting. I am finding this to be a very interesting process with this new brush. And I don't hate it. So sometimes when I hate something right off the bat, I have to talk myself into trying it again. But this time, I don't hate it at all. It's a little, I'll scoot this up in case you guys need to see it. It's a little weird, right? This is not what I'm used to. Anything new is probably a little weird to all of us. It's a little different. But I think it's a little harder. If I had to say something about it, I feel like it's a little harder. I wouldn't, as a newbie, if you're just starting, use a brush, right? Because that was a little bit of managing a lot of different things going on at once in a quick time. So, and I'm going to leave the Mod Podge on here. They said you can leave it on, and since it's silicone, you can just pull it right off. So, let's keep her hand up, and I'm going to come back once this is dry. Okay, so now I'm getting ready to do some more design on this, but I wanted to try our brush and see if the Mod Podge just pulls off. That is amazing. Now there might be some noise behind me because we have the neighbors are getting their hedges cut down, so we have stuff going on. So I am going to try to find something for her to hold. So I need like a stick or I need something sticking out. Nothing there. So let's try this one. I have a good feeling about this one. So she could hold a... She could hold... Do we need a butterfly wing for her? Let me see. Let's see. Do we need... Oh, was there a volunteer? Oh, I can't really get her... Well, I could do some wings up here. Nah, she doesn't need any wings. Okay. So we could have her holding that. That's too big. I want her holding something smaller. Okay, what can we do? We got a whole bunch of lips there. That isn't what we need. We got a whole bunch of stuff here. I don't want to go twee like a cow. Let's see. I don't know if I have anything for her to hold. Okay, so I am this evening. My disc cover came off. So this is what's so nice about the disc covers is you can put pages in and out. You can put your cover in and out. It is one of my favorite things. Okay, so now we know we need to find something for her to hold in her hand. I like how the glossy Mod Podge is making layers. You may not be able to see it so much, but I can. And then I'm going to find some, next step is I'm going to find something for her to hold. Because then I'm going to do the final Mod Podge on there, and then I'm going to do some outlining. So I'll be back. I just need to go find something. Maybe I'll let you stay with me. Okay, so we'll put that up so her hand doesn't get hurt. And we're just looking for something sticking out, right? Something on a stick, something that she can hold up in the air. We don't know what it is yet. Let's see. I don't think I'm gonna find it in Food Network. Let's see, this is the Oscars. Ooh, we may find it in Entertainment. All right, let's keep looking. All right, this doesn't seem like the right one. Sometimes I can get a feel for a magazine. Oh, Rachel Ray. I love Rachel Ray. Let's see, the pepper. Ooh. See, this would kind of work, right? Because it's the right shape, it's the right color, it's a little funky. So we're gonna put a pin in this. We're gonna put, I don't hate that. Now I might put it with something else, but that leaf is really cool. Okay, let's see. See, I had a good feeling. This we could have her holding it upside down. But I really do kind of need some, this is a really nice magazine. All right, there's Beagie. You know, if we're recording, Beagie's gonna jump in. Okay, okay, let's see. Okay.
There's people up, Wally. Hey, you can't go out there. There's people out there. Come here, let's go see Dozen. Wally, come here.
All right, so nothing else. Like, so I could do some silverware for sure. I could do a silverware and my leaf, because I think I'm coming to think now that I've seen it. I'm really excited about that leaf. Okay, yep, so we're gonna use this leaf because it's really funky and cool. And so what I'm gonna do while you're gone this time is I am going to cut out this leaf, I'm going to stick it down, and then I'm going to outline her. So that's my next steps. We have this, and we're gonna put it in her hand, but I thought it could be fun to tart it up a little bit, right? So what I'm gonna do is I am going to come along here with my embossing pen, and I'm going to make this stem shiny gold, like a sword hilt, right? So we're gonna make that shiny gold, just like it was a sword. And that way it won't be green too, right? That could be a little weird. Okay, so there we go, we got gold. And we're just gonna, ooh, I should put this away, because that's all we're doing in gold. I dumped a bunch of my black in there. Ooh, it'll be okay, watch. You ready for this? Because there's so much gold and so little black. That's why you can never freak out about anything. Can't even tell it's in there. All right, and then I'm going to, well, I guess we should emboss it, right? Let's go ahead and emboss it. Ooh, fancy. This is gonna be the coolest little piece of lettuce you've ever seen. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is we're gonna use this black highlighty powder. It's black glitter. It is called Black Sparkle. Okay, so we're gonna go on the places where it looks dark, kind of around the edges, the tips of the flowers. They were kind of dinky to cut out. That's what I liked about it, but it kind of made cutting it out a little futsy. Okay, so let's do this. We're gonna go around here. I want to leave some of it, right, because it's got a cool texture. But these edges we're gonna do in this really cool sparkly black, maybe this thing, whatever that is. All right, let's do that. That is very sparkly black, huh? Okay, here we go. We're gonna kind of, I don't want to knock all my sparkle off. You can do that if you tap it too hard. You can wind up like just getting rid of everything you just put on, right? Okay, so let's shut this up, put all this away. And then let's emboss this. Okay, that is cool. Okay, so now we have kind of a sparkly bit of lettuce. And we're gonna put it in her hand and have it come up like this. Or do we have it come down? Let's see. Oh, we have it come over here and follow this so that we're not all over the black here. Because I can knock back some of that black, but I can't knock back all of it. But this way we could maybe outline it in black or outline it in white. Okay, all right, so let's do this. And I don't think I'm gonna try this with our new brush, but that new brush is amazing. So we're just very delicately going to do her hand. Right here. And then we're going to very delicately put her fingers, put this in her fingers. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so that is good. And now I need to go back underneath here to get this stuck down, right? Okay, here we go. Okay. And then because I really want to get this stuck down. Okay, so we're going to do it a little bit at a time. This is a little bit of a delicate process. Now, here's something to think about. We put that sparkle, stick down. We put that sparkle on the edges of that lettuce, right? So here's something interesting. If I had used matte medium instead of glossy medium, it would have taken and dulled some of that sparkle, but luckily we're using glossy medium today. But if you find that happens, what you would do is you would put your thing down, do your matte medium, and then put your sparkle on, right? So you just need to know that matte medium will make things less shiny even things like, so if you're using acrylic paint and you feel like it's too shiny for you or too glossy, and you put some matte medium over it, it will make it less glossy. Okay. Here we go. And this is very futzy. When I started cutting this out, I was like, what I really loved about it was all the spiky bits and parts, and then cutting it out, what I hated about it was all the spiky bits and parts, right? But it turned out okay. It just took a minute. It took about, I would say, 7 minutes to cut it out. Okay, here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay, so now that's all done. Let's smooth it down. Okay, all right. Now, trying to see, I only have a Sharpie here. I was going to show you what I was going to do here. So, we have, this is Diane Reevely's collage sheet, and she has black stripes and a white neck. What I'm going to do on these legs is use a Posca paint pen. Now, I couldn't use very many kinds of pens because we have the glossy Mod Podge on here. So I am going to use a Posca paint pen to make her legs stripey too, like that stripey. But I'm almost thinking, boy, this is having trouble sticking. It's thinking about the other Mod Podge and it's popping up. Okay, oh, that's popping up. All right, I probably should just leave this here a wee minute and let it get itself all stuck down. That turned out glorious. I really love that. Okay, so we are going to let that dry for a hot minute. I almost want to put more stripes on here. I kind of like the stripe. I'm going to put a couple more stripes on here while I'm waiting. And this is the Distress Embossing Hickory Smoke. So it's not black, it's clear. Yeah, we're going to make her dress kind of stripey. I like it. Okay, so we're going to come here for a stripe. And then I'm going to come through here for maybe a thinner one. We're going to kind of go around that thing and maybe a skinny one in here. All right. Now, I have to be super careful because that embossing powder will totally stick, right, to that glue. So we have to do this one down this way. Don't worry, I'm a professional. Okay. We'll just... Okay. Whew, that's cool. All right, so I do want a little bit of definition on here. So I can just come in here. Because remember, anywhere there's embossing powder, you're going to get embossing. So we want to just get some of this off of here. And I'm just using a different dry paintbrush, not the one I just used for the Mod Podge. So this is a dry one. Okay, we're just making a couple of stripes on this skirt. All right, there we go. That's cool. I like that, so it makes it look like a skirt. All right, so now all I can do is wait for that to dry, and I'm going to do my, a bunch of doodling. Maybe no words yet, but I'll show you what my doodles look like when I get back. Okay, I just wanted to check in real quick with you. I have outlined the leaves I have outlined the whole piece. I love how the inside outside of her legs on her dress is. And I've done a little bit of highlighting. So that's what I've done so far here. And my next step is I'm going to make bubbles along the middle. That's what I'm going to do tonight. So tomorrow morning you'll get to see the bubbles in the middle. Okay, so we have some stuff going on here. And I like what's happening. I got my leaf all done. She looks really great. I did some circles in the background. I outlined. And now I want to put something, I don't know yet what, in here to kind of merge her with there. Okay, and so I have a couple different little things I'm going to use. I have tickets, which I stamped in white on white tissue paper. So these are maybe the least exciting thing for me to show you, but we're going to try them. Okay, so we're going to put a couple tickets on here. Maybe one across there. Okay, I can't see the end of them. I think it's down here. So white acrylic paint on white tissue paper is a really, really, really cool look when you put it on your project. It's just really hard to see when you're cutting it out, right? Okay, let's see. All right, so we want it to be kind of okay, it goes this way. All right. So I think I want it kind of here and here. All right. Then I have this wicked cool, and I just used my stamps. So you can use your stamps with acrylic paint. It looks real neat. So I'm also going to use, I have kind of a little picket fence thing, and as soon as I do this, you'll be able to see it. Don't fret. You'll be able to see it in a minute, but I gotta just get these cut out so I can do these, because if I don't do them tonight, then they'll never be dry for tomorrow when I want to do the next step. And I almost feel like if I have two of them, which I do, I rip it down the middle, maybe do get one guy over here. Kind of like that. All right, let's put these down and see how we like them. I think I'm going to cut just a tiny bit closer. We said right there. Okay, so we're using the shiny Mod Podge for this whole project. Where did our fancy Sunday go to meeting amazing Mod Podge silicone brush go? Okay, boop, 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 boop. And if we put enough Mod Podge on here, this should almost melt into that, right? You're still going to see some of the white, but you're not going to see most of the white. All right, we'll do this one down here. I don't think I want it exactly on the corner the way I had it. In fact, I think I kind of want it coming off this edge of the paper entirely to kind of hook us to the edge of the paper and ground us. Okay, so that's good there. All right, let's think about these, because I have one more too that I cut out. Well, I could do one over here, right? Kind of one on, and that's what I'm going to do, one on this edge, just to kind of balance that other side. And he's kind of a ratty one. He's not even a whole one. But that's okay. All right, there we go with that guy. You want to get a fair amount of Mod Podge on if you're doing this one, because you want it to soak through the tissue paper completely. That's where you get it to kind of melt. If you just use a little bit of Mod Podge, you're not going to get that melty thing happening. Okay, so that's good. Now I have two more. I'm almost, well, I want one to come down here. So I think I want them to come down here. I do want them to come down there. Okay, here we go. And they're going to come down from the top. And I hear my alarm going off, but we only got 1 second more anyway, so it'll be okay. And then this one I'm going to cheat, make a little bit shorter, but kind of line them up there. There we go. Don't feel like I got much. There we go. Didn't get any. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Lots of Mod Podge, lots of Mod Podge. Okay, that's good, that's good. Go. Stick a little under there, see if we can get some under her skirt. I just want this to be layer upon layer upon layer of glossy Mod Podge. Okay, so that's it for tonight. And we don't even have to clean our brush, we just peel it off tomorrow. We are going to be finishing, or at least mostly finishing up this page. So we have the fun thing of peeling our Mod Podge off of this. This is brilliant. Being a Mod Podge maniac, these brushes are my favorite new thing. Okie doke. So last night we put this on. So I want to, this is nice and dry. I want to cut off this edge so I can get a good idea of what I got going on. We got some edge over here. And then, okay, so what I like to do with this is, to me that feels like a really sharp, you know, white edge. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to take some India ink. And I don't really care what color it is. This color should go really well, though. We're going to put some in here. And we're just going to, oops, there's a lot in there. Okay, we're just going to go kind of along this edge and soften it up a little bit. Right? We just want to get this so this isn't so, there we go. Now it's starting to spread out. So we're going to do that. We just want to make this not so funky monkey, right? We're going to come over here. And India ink is water soluble when it's wet, and it's permanent when it dries. It is one of my all-time favorite things to use. So I'm just gonna kind of, oh, and if you don't like your fingers to be all funny colors, you probably shouldn't, you should probably just use a sponge or use something like that. But I don't care if my fingers are funny colors. So let's... Okay, and this again is a little much, so we gotta get rid of some of this. We're just trying to blend that, right? Just a little blendy blend. And I'm gonna go in here with what's called ice from Seth Apter around kind of the outside. But I think this will be a nice way to blend kind of some of this inside bits. I just don't want those painted circles to be so monochrome, right? So we're just gonna come, kind of go around, dip in here a little bit, just break them up a little bit. Maybe not even all of them, just some of them, and just some of them a little bit. Just want to get this a little funkier looking. Maybe go over that a little bit. Get up in here. Just kind of change the color of some of this stuff, right? Let's do it on this one over here. And this India ink won't stay liquid very long. It tends to dry out pretty well. It will, oh, we want to get in here before it dries. It will, you can mix it with a little bit of water. It's, see how it's drying already? You can mix it with a little bit of water, but you can't mix it with a ton of water. All right, I love what that did. I almost feel like I want to do a little bit on this so we can keep her, not necessarily on the other ones, but I'm just trying to keep her waist. I'll probably come back in and redefine her waist. Do we want to? We'll just do a really light wash over this because I like it. But I just want it to, I want to keep her the center of attention. Okay, perfect. I love what happened with that. Okie doke, and that will stain your brush. Okay, so this is Swell. Now, this one, I want to put a little gizmo on. Okay, and this is what's called a big shot. Okay, and there's a slider on here that will change what's happening. So I want to make little holes in the bottom of her dress. And I can see right where it is. And the difference with this guy and my regular one, which I love my regular one, which is the crocodile, is that you can go way inside a piece of paper with this, right? To make some holes. This is called a, I don't know what it's called. I'll have to look it up. I'll put it in the description. But I want to make, I want to make holes for some brads to decorate the bottom of her skirt. Okay. And so this is part of the reason why I wanted to, you'll see me use this one a lot. That's when you can go closer in. That's why I wanted to make these guys as separate pieces so that I could do more of these gizmos. So now we have brads. And we have all kinds of brads. So I'm thinking we're going to be in this side of it with little brads, right? That's why I only made a little hole. Like those. Okay, I truly love those. So I have one, I have cream colored. So I have two cream colored. I'm looking for that same. I have a whole bunch of these cream colored ones. I wonder if I just have cream colored ones. If we do that, which would be fine. I also have ones that have gems. This is kind of a blingy one. I almost think I want gems. Okay, so let's do the gems. Let's see if we have any other colored gems. That's, all right, so there's a green gem, there's a blue gem, there's a pink gem. There is a red ball. I should have my glasses for this, people. This isn't good. All right, there's a red gem. So how many holes do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we go like this, I don't really have any green, but we'll see what happens. That's a white gem. I kind of want colors. Maybe red and pink? I don't know. Let's see. Do you see any more? Help me out here. That's not, oh, here's a blue one. All right, so I feel like we could do, if we break up the blue, I like the blue. There's another green one. There's a red one. Okay. Whew. Now we get these out of the way because they could explode off the table. Gotta be careful with those. Now the nice thing about this is we can put these on and take these off a million times and nobody will ever know the difference. But I think this is kind of what I want to do. We're gonna sort of put them in here like this. And then I'm gonna hold them down. Oh, I lost 2, but that's okay. I lost 3. Oh no, there's 1. There's 2. Nope, I lost that one again. There's 2. And there is, boop, 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 3. Okay. So I want to pull this up as far as I can get it. And then I'm going to splay these, the back of these tags, or the back of this brad flat. Okay, because I do want to try to keep that from being, I want to keep it in there tight, and I want to try to keep it from being too thick on the page. But these pages are ridiculously thick anyways. I'm making a ridiculously thick journal. Okay, 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 let's see what they look like. Ooh, pretty. Okay, I love those. I love those. Okay, so for right now, oh, I did want to do one more thing. I apologize. So there is this kind of product that Seth After makes. It's called Izink Ice. And it is this kind of oogie googie stuff, and it's kind of weird. It's sort of translucent, but it just gives you a nice color. And this color looks really bizarre in this, but this will give us a really nice, like old-fashioned glazy color. Okay, so let me just show you. So we're going to come down here. Okay. And this is going to spread really well on here because we have just layers and layers of gloss Mod Podge. And I will probably come in with a last layer of gloss Mod Podge because this isn't a gloss. This is more of a matte. Okay, so I want to do this down here too. Just kind of get a brown glaze over this. And you're going to see it mostly on the houses and on these, right? So I just want to get kind of a grungy effect here around the edge. And to me, it feels like, this is Whiskey Frost. It feels like it's a little caramely color. It's a little bit like if you have any old tape on anything and it makes that kind of brownish color. So let's get this on here. And I just want it to be a little bit grungy, a little bit yucky, right? Not on my girl, just on my background. Oops, do we get, let's get some on here. And what I like is it doesn't go on perfectly, right? It doesn't have this perfect background. Now let's see, we have the bottom and the sides. Do we want to do over? I do want to do over here. Okay, so poop, poop, poop. All right. So I'm just going to kind of spread it around, and then I'm going to just spread it with the knife. Get it in little pieces and parts here and there, not too much. And it also grunges up these circles. Remember, I went back in with the India ink. So what I want to do is I just want to add some layers of stuff that make all this look not so perfect around the back, but I kind of want my gal to stay perfect, right? Oh, I like that. That is a good layer for me. For you, you might have thought, oh, that background is beautiful, leave it. But for me, this is what I like to do. All right, so I'm gonna scrape this off here, because this will stick like crazy glue to your stuff. And we're going to close this up, okay? And I'm going to put a layer of Mod Podge on this, and then I'll come back at the very end and show it to you. Okay, here's the final with the last coat of glossy Mod Podge on her. We've got our little gems there at the bottom. We've got everything all kind of grunged up. And I love how she pops off from the page. I think this one turned out amazing. Hopefully that helps. Tara Jacobsen, Artsy Fartsy Life.